Hello, hello. We are back. I am here as promised, the Lady Melson Show. I have so much in store for you all today. I actually have a special guest that I am truly excited about. I mean, she's my friend. She's actually also a mentor, and I hope that she can be a mentor towards you all as well. Her name is Talisha Alston. She is a wife. She is a mother of two boys. She is an entrepreneur. When I say she has a love for helping others, empowering people, motivating people, I mean, she's so stylish. She has a lot of hats that she has to fill, and she just knows how to balance it. That is why she is here today to help us balance our life because we all know life be life. And so let's give a round of applause for my girl, Miss Talisha Alston.
Hey,
Yes, I am
thank you
just
so much for having me, beautiful.
I am just so happy and just so honored just
Oh,
for you to be on the Lady Melson show.
I am honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so honored and grateful. Thank you so much, Diva. So
I
much.
mean, another diva got to know another diva, but you know what?
That's
I always call you boss diva because you're always making boss
oh, thank you so
moves,
much.
always giving boss motivational talks. You're
Thank
always
you.
willing to teach us, go on live and show us how to do things and
Thank
show us
you.
how your start to your finish. It's like I love that you don't mind bragging about you, bragging about your family, bragging about what Talisha has. Because a lot of times we worry about what other people think. Oh my God, if I talk about what I got going on, it's going to look like I'm boasting. No, I'm
Exactly.
going to own it. I
Yeah,
love my life and I'm going to blog about my life. I'm going to talk about my life because I'm proud of who I am and I'm
yeah,
proud of how hard I work to have this life.
ex-
And I'm always going to thank God because
that's
if it
right.
wasn't for him, I couldn't
Wouldn't
share
have
these
these things.
moments with you. So Talisha Austin, I mean, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you got going on because I'm so happy for you to be here.
Oh, thank you so much, Diva. I really appreciate those kind words. So, yeah, I've been here in Georgia for almost 19 years now with my husband and I. And like you said, I like to talk about my experiences because I always thought like what God does for me, He can do for anyone else. So I always like to share, like, hey, and I've always since we moved here and since social media been a thing,
Right.
I've always kind of tried to share my experiences, whether good or bad, especially in business because it is very hard starting out in business. And let's talk a little bit about my background. I basically, when we moved here, I was working for a company. They laid me off. I start selling on eBay. And then I said, well, you know what? This is what I'll do because I love thrift stores, secondhand thrift stores. I love this. I grew up in thrift stores and I always found pieces that were
When we met,
fabulous.
when we met.
Yes, and that's how we met. As a matter of fact, that's how we met because I basically used to go to thrift stores here in Atlanta, pick pieces up and then just keep them at home and say, oh, I don't know if I have a friend to wear this. And people kept telling me you should open a store. So I kind of blew that off, started selling on eBay and wanted a way out, but wasn't confident enough to leave eBay and stop selling, even though it wasn't making me any money. It was okay. It got taken. I put something on eBay. I always tell this story. I put something on eBay and I took it off because I was going to take it to a consignment shop because I
Right.
needed the money at the time. eBay was like, no, you no, well, no. First, we rewind back. When I took the item off eBay, somebody reached out to me and said, hey, I wanted to bid on this item. Can you still sell it to me back in? So I
Okay.
said, oh, okay, this is good. This is what I want. She was offered ready to pay. I took the payment outside of eBay. I don't know how eBay found out. eBay was like, no, ma'am, you ain't selling ever again. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
Right.
So
But you didn't know you was learning. I mean, you
I
didn't.
know I was learning, but I did not know that was God's way of saying, hey, I took this away from you so you can start your business.
Woo.
And because I did that, like I said, I would have never left on my own. I would have kept doing eBay and doing this, and it was very stressful. So I said, you know what? I have no other choice. I got online. Me and my husband had just moved to Atlanta. We've been here almost 20 years. I'm 43, so that'll tell you it's over 20,
Right.
23 years ago almost. Um, and then I started selling online. Instagram had just came out. It was very new. I went online. I didn't have no money for no marketing. I didn't have none of these things. We had a 4-year-old at the time. Now our oldest son is 21. He was 4 at the time. And I said, you know what? I got to figure this thing out. I've always had this entrepreneur mindset. I've always wanted to work for myself, and I said, you know what, let me just figure this thing out. In the meantime, I did apply and get a job for a Fortune 500 company because I'm smart. You have to always think about multiple streams of income is never a bad idea. So until the store got built up, I said, let me have me a job in the back end.
Right.
So
You need insurance.
yeah, insurance and stuff like that. So that's what I kind of did. I've been married for 18 years. Me and my husband celebrated our 18-year anniversary this year.
Congratulations to
Thank
the
you so much. Thank you so
I,
much.
I am one of y'all cheerleaders.
Oh, thank you, girl.
I love y'all.
I, I love y'all too. I love y'all too. So yeah, 18 years, girl, 23 years married. And in the beginning, it was not this easy. People see our glory, but they don't know our story. We had to work on our marriage. We had to work on business. We had to work raising these children. We had to stay active in church. And that's all very hard to do when there's so many things coming at you. You love money, you're young, you got a new mortgage. We live in a new state, don't really know nobody, family 600 miles away. Because I know that you're from New York as well, too.
Yeah,
so we had to, yes, we had to stay on faith. Lots of prayer, lots of, meditation, and just working as a team mainly. So I know that's like a lot in a nutshell, but that's a little bit about me. We have now two children. 21, the one that was 4 years old from the beginning of my story, he's 21 in college, and we now have also a 14-year-old as well.
Give it up for Olga Thorne. I am so proud of him.
Thank you so much. I'm proud of you too, girl. Thank you so much.
And listeners, to my listeners and viewers that's watching, I thank you all for tuning in. And I mean, I have a little soft spot for Miss Austin because again, we watched one another grow.
Yes, we did.
We as women is so quick to kind of like, she thinks she better.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, God, what's she posting about now? Okay. You went on a trip. Okay, you married. Okay, you got.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to talk about it again, and either you're going to choose to watch it or keep strolling. That's the thing. We need to start celebrating each other wins.
Yes, we do.
Go back to this title. Balancing it through it all. And I had to have you on the Lady Melson show to talk about this because I watch you balance.
Yeah, thank you.
How do my girl do it? And I feel like it should be okay for us to call one another to say, hey, now I was just watching what I see you accomplish.
And
I know myself, the 20 million things I see you just do.
Yeah, I know.
1 month. How was you able to just complete all those tasks? And it's okay for you to extend your olive branch to me and say, you know what, Asia? This is what you need to do. This is how I did it. It may not be the same results as how it happened for me, but we all have our own time. We all have our own season, and we have to be okay to embrace that and to ask questions and to just say, hey, how do you balance out your different hats, Miss Austin?
Exactly. And I get asked that a lot. And I always think like, man, does it seem like I am doing a lot, right? I'm over here doing store. I'm going on dates with my husband. I'm doing stuff with the kids. And I think it's just that God gave me this, it's just a gift. I said, I have no other choice. There are times when I really don't feel like it. There have been days when I didn't feel like managing and getting up and doing stuff in my store, but I still did it anyway. And then I also make sure I go back to my roots where my mom always taught me when you get married, you make sure you spend time with your husband. You gotta do the same things you did to get him to keep him. So, keep yourself up. I've always been like this diva type of woman. I always want to be dressed up and being pretty. Quality time, communication, those things are very, very important to me. And I believe that when you want to get a solid foundation, it's very important to communicate with your spouse, with your children. Quality times builds bonds. So outside of me being a business owner, I've always said, you know what? Okay, I know I got things to do over here, but I haven't spent time with my son. So we ain't going to be doing that right now. We ain't worried about the money because God is always the source. The job, God is the reason why the blessings are coming in, not the business. So I've always had to have this level of faith where I realize that it is not all about the money. Because you can easily say, you know what, I'll spend time with them later. I got a chance to make a lot of money because I found on these clothes, but I say, you know what, forget them clothes right now. We'll do what we can. I explained to my customers many of times, ain't gonna be no sale this week, y'all. I changed my mind. They like, okay. So they know Yep. But
That's important.
that is important. So, especially in a marriage, it's very important. And then I started another business, but that is because I look at it. A lot of people look at it as it's not a good thing. But I injured myself in 2000. Remember, I hurt my knee in
I
2015.
remember that. I
Okay,
remember that.
right? And I hurt my knee, and I was like, man, you know what I'm gonna do? Because at the time, my store was doing very well, and this vintage store has earned me well over six figures.
Yeah, the Diva Express events.
Diva Express
Yeah,
Vintage,
the
the
vintage
vintage
store.
store.
Yeah, that was
Um, yeah, exactly. So when I felt my back, I was like, man, I had to go part time with Apple. Remember, I told you I started with Apple.
I remember
I had to go part time, and I was devastated about that. Well, not really, because I was like, man, I was devastated about my knee injury and not being able to do. But
that.
part of my knee injury requires me to stay active and moving, so I had to go part time. So I said, well, to make up for my income, I can put all the rest of the time into my store and just be active. So I look at that as a blessing, and I just try to pay attention to signs instead of looking at the oh, this happened. But just look at everything happens for a reason. God sends signs that we may think are yeah, oh, this is an inconvenience, but it's really a blessing. So that's just why I've been able to kind of also balance doing the stores and say, all right, at the same time, still saying, hey, look, I ain't putting no more time in this store. I'm gonna spend some time with my husband and my children. And you know, you have grown, you see it pays off. When they get older, they want to be around you. The marriage is still strong because you put that quality time in. You prioritize spending time with the person that you want to, create.
Yeah,
create
and
yeah.
and me, like you have been married at 20 something.
20, we've been married 18, but we've been together 23.
Look at that. When I
Yep,
met
yep,
you,
23.
like I said, I wasn't even married to my husband. We've been together 13 years,
I
and we
love it.
married 9 on New Year's Day.
Oh, I love it. I remember everything. And I was like, I am so proud of my girl. I remember everything. And I remember y'all wedding. I was like, I'm just so
Right
proud
here
of
in the
her.
house, right here in the dining room,
Yep,
and
you sure did. And look at y'all, 13. Look at that.
together.
See
And
what
this
I'm
we
saying?
were talking about. That was like, okay. Wow. So met you in 2014. We got together 2015. It go fast when you're
It
happy,
goes
you're
fast.
living lives with each other. Nothing
Yep,
is perfect, but it's perfect enough for us to keep
exactly.
building and getting strong.
Exactly.
And that's when it goes back to this title, balancing life through it all. So I'm going to
Yep.
ask you a couple of questions. Like I
Okay.
always
Yeah.
say in my show, I'm reading from a clipboard because this short-term memory is real, girl.
No,
Okay, to my listeners and watchers, I know you guys know Lady Melson always say that because I
that's okay.
have a clipboard. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, friend.
Okay.
Okay. What has been, and I think you just talked about this too a little bit,
Uh-huh.
what has been your biggest challenge and trying to balance life? But one thing I did notice, you
Uh-huh.
didn't really focus on, like you said, we waste too much time worrying about it not working out, but it
Yeah.
didn't work out because God had something better.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you really did answer this question, but I'm going
Uh-huh.
to ask you again. What has been your biggest challenge in trying to balance life?
The biggest challenge in challenge in time trying to balance it has been, I guess, I don't know what the biggest challenge has been. I don't. I want to say trying to because most people say, okay, well, I got money to make, so I'm gonna have to just hold off on family time. The biggest challenge has been saying, you know what, I'm gonna have to lay off. I'm not getting the money. There have been times when we needed the money, and I was like, I can't take a break from my store. We want to do this, or we need this, or we need that in the beginning stages of it, where the income was heavily. Now, by the
Right.
grace of God, we're in a better state. But there have been times where I needed to do a story sale or a post, which is what I used to do every other Friday for
I
my
remember.
store.
Mhm.
And I couldn't do it because I'm like, I haven't spent time with my children who were pretty young at the time. So, and I'm like, man, if I don't make no money, Lord, where the money coming from? And God never
Married in
disappointed.
the household, so
I know I said, but God saw that I honored family over money, and He always
ooh,
provided. So that is something that I've always kind
ooh,
of like. So if once God see how you got to keep the faith. The faith is like, okay, do you honor more than money more than this blessing that I said? These blessings that I sent you, these two children, they only get one childhood. So it's very important for me to be a mom and to be there for them while they are in this grown up stage. And we can worry about the money later because God is always the source anyway. He's going to send it another way. May not be through the store, but it'll be some other way or favor.
And that's what I love about you. I told you I
Yeah.
watch you. I lurk.
Oh, thank you.
I be lurking. I be lurking your page. I be lurking.
Oh, girl, I be looking
I'm
and I be so busy. I'm like, I ain't seen
I love my
nothing.
friends. What my friend got going on today? When I say them children travel more area codes than half of us, they can't say mama and get them outside because they've been out of state, they've been out of countries. And I just love it because your happiness
Thank
is your
you.
happiness. You and
Yeah,
your husband,
thank
and
you.
that's what happened as well with me and my husband. We made sure the children still went everywhere we went.
Yes,
You
yes,
know,
I love
and
that.
of course we had to have our by ourselves trips sometime, but like
Yep.
they always are going to remember that. You know
Yes,
what,
they
mom
are.
and dad, they balanced it all because you got some mothers that meet, a new guy in their life, and
Yep.
the kids are just pushed off to the side.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, no,
Nope.
not Lady Melson
Yeah,
household.
you didn't do that. I watched you. You're a great role model. I loved what you
And
did.
I'm
You need to
still
be in your
learning.
field.
I am still learning and growing. And I'm okay to say that Lady Melson every day is still learning herself,
Yep.
finding new things out about myself, and just
Same.
learning how to be a better wife, a better
Yes.
mother. I want to become a better sister, friend, all
Yes,
that.
I
Better
know.
communication.
Yeah.
So I got a couple more questions.
Yes, no problem. Take your time, girl.
And I love that. This is why I call it the Lady Melson Show, where we can be real,
Yes, be
authentic,
real.
be ourselves.
Be ourselves. Exactly. I love it.
Everybody else, that's too much energy. I got to sit here and portray to be. I can't do it. I
Yeah,
can't.
God, right.
A lot of energy to kind of practice with somebody else. I can't do
I know.
it. Okay, so another question, friend.
Uh-huh.
How do you, and you just answered this,
Oh,
how
okay.
do you prioritize between personal, professional, and family responsibilities? As
Mhm.
y'all know, Miss Austin just answered this question. We just have to balance. We have
Yes,
to give
at the back.
everybody time.
Yep. You have to. And I learned from my mom. My mom always, even though she at the time had to work two jobs, she always prioritized spending quality time with us. And then even when we couldn't afford to go on the nicest trips and things like that, even with my kids, girl, we wasn't always flying on the country. We were going to Tennessee, anything within a close
Remember,
area. And it's not about. And then sometimes we would go to the park. It doesn't have to necessarily be out of the state, as long as the quality time is there, because kids can care less where they at. I mean, of course, when God bless us with more, we can go out of the country. But as long as we spending quality time, they just as happy, and they will always remember that. They will always remember.
and you're so right. And I
Yep.
say that because we had a thing called like the times that we couldn't go, out of town. We call them
Yeah.
staycations. We'll just get in a car
Yeah.
or drive out to Gwinnett
Right. And just
or
hang
out
out.
and get a hotel. And like you said, kids when they're young,
They don't care.
you know what they used to ask us? Mom and Dad, you got a pool?
I
We
know.
we knew the hotels had a pool. We know that. Listen.
Right. So as long as I got a pool, the kids will have a good time.
So I just really appreciate you just sharing that with us about just knowing how to balance it all.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not about money. We're gonna have to give up that little check just to have
Just
the
to,
memorable times with our family and our loved ones and
exactly.
our spouses.
Yep.
Okay. So I have another question, Ms. Hall.
Yes.
Okay, so ooh, got you. Okay, you just answered it. All these questions you just
I,
answered.
I
And
know I went over and talking, I was rambling, girl.
you know, how important is it to you? And you just answered this with, hey, how is it important to you to have
Uh-huh.
a supportive circle when it comes to balance in your life? And you talked about it, your family, you
Yeah.
know, yeah. Answer that for me.
Family, and if you notice, I love to entertain, mainly because I think it's important that we surround ourselves around other couples, other married couple, newlywed couples, like I invited you and your husband to
You
things,
always do, yeah.
and I always do. And I try to make sure that I do that because I think it's important that we all have a circle, because some people don't talk about things they may go through. Things mental health is so serious, and it's nice to have things together. We can all kind of be ourselves and meet other husbands and meet other couples that may be like, oh, y'all do that too. Well, and then it makes, it just kind of makes it so. I've always been this person that likes to entertain, mainly to get
Yes, you
people
have.
together.
Yes, you
Yes.
have. And I
And
love
I
it.
have to make time for that too. But I say, you know what? We're gonna make time. I don't care how tired I am. I am a creative by nature anyway. But I don't care how tired I am. And I also want to make sure that my guests feel like they're in luxury. I'm very grateful. I love to do that. You know I do. I like to
We
do
had
that.
a good time last time we was there. I didn't want to go home. I didn't go home.
Yeah, so fun. So that's what I like to do on top of family because I think it's important because we moved here. We didn't have no family here. It was just us. So I said, let's okay. If it wasn't meant, we wasn't meant to be here. God wouldn't allowed it. So I've networked and got to know people from church, the gym, things like that, and made and developed some friendships. And of course, like you, I met you in the store. It was I would have never met you if I would have went to that store. And I
I
lived an hour away.
and as I told my husband, like I was, you be pillow talking. I was excited about
Yeah.
you coming on the show. I was like, hey, me and her go way back. I said, I really,
Yeah.
I said, I really supposed to be an Apple right now. Like honestly,
I know, but I'm glad you didn't come because we'll talk about it offline. But yeah, I'm glad you didn't come. Everything happens for a reason
and
because I love what you're doing here. This is just the beginning, girlfriend. I see. I don't. I feel some people say they have the spirit of discernment. They have this gift where they can feel. I just see you just doing big things with this. I'm very proud of you. You've always been this beautiful person, inside and out. And I just was like, oh man, I like her. I said I got to get her number. I just, but anyway, I know how to compliment you.
and I love that because, and that's what I try to explain to people.
Uh,
Your character and your
yes,
energy, that just goes a long
it
way.
goes a long way.
And we
Yep.
met each other over 13 years ago.
Yeah, over 13 years ago.
And I just feel like you've always remained authentic. You've
Oh, thank
always
you. Yeah, I try to, girl.
been so humble, empowered. One thing, you're so empowered. You
Oh,
empower,
thank you.
and you're so motivational. Like I said, I'm one of your biggest cheerleaders.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
waiting for
Yours
you to
too.
post something. I'll be waiting for you to do a live. I'll be waiting to see a trip or an outfit or
Oh, girl, thank you. And
people. Like I love that. At the end of the
thank
day, I'm
you.
all for love. I'm all for black love. I'm all for real love. I'm all for family. I'm all for balance. And I
Yes,
just appreciate you and also coming on the show to share with
thank
my
you.
viewers. And I thank you all too for watching me and Miss Austin just fellowship and connect and talk about life and balance spiritually, balancing life emotionally, physically. And I just don't want you to be a stranger. I want
Oh,
you
I
to
won't.
always come back on the Lady Melson
Yeah,
show.
for
So
real.
tell my viewers and listeners how they can contact you. I mean, let us know.
So you guys can contact me. So the as I was mentioning about the venture store, it's Diva Express, but it's spelled kind of weird. Divax is an X-ray, which I don't know why I had that name,
I
but
love it that way.
Diva Express. And that Diva Express is basically my brand name with this for my venture store. And I started my event business, which is basically doing balloon garlands. It's not really a
those
business.
be so beautiful.
Thank you. Diva Express event. So you can go at Diva Express, DIVAXPRESS. And then if you want to find, you'll see everything linked to that. Everything is linked to that. So that's my venture store, which I've had taken a little break on to balance out spending time with my son, my younger son, as he grows up and going to his high school years, and spending time with my husband and traveling more now that we can afford to, by God, great God's glory. But anyway, but that's how people can find me. I am very honored and grateful to be here. It is such an honor. I would come back millions of times.
And I love it. And I'm going to manifest that Lady Melson goes live.
Oh, you will. I
Start
know you will.
going to different states, and soon I'm going to put event together.
Oh,
For us
nice.
women, for the Lady Melson show, and that's how I want you to come. Bring my balloon garlands. I want you to do the decorations, but I'll let you know when it does come to that. I just again thank you for coming on the show and supporting me. As I told my viewers, let me know what Lady Melson needs to work on. Let me know if y'all see anything that I need to tweak up. And give me ideas, give me titles. Let's work together as a team. I appreciate you all for tuning in. It's awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stranger. And again, until next time, Lady Melson, we'll see you next time. I mean, all I can say was that was some good gems. We all know life be life in. And to have Miss Austin come on here and tell us about balancing balance, which we all know we struggle with. So again, I hope y'all was able to get some good gems, some good information, some good food. So again, thank you for tuning in. to the Lady Melson Show. Until next time.